So the only thing I'm going to purposefully say about the economy today is the Federal Reserve is meeting next week, and they're most likely going to raise interest rates again. For what? I don't know. Today we're actually going to have some fun. We're going to talk about Barbenheimer, the big movies this weekend. Barbie and Oppenheimer. We're also going to talk about the Taylor Swift economy, which is so big that the Federal Reserve actually had to comment on it. After 27 years, the Tupac case has been reopened. This should be interesting. And on a somber note, we lost a legend today, Tony Bennett, a great entertainer, and it looks like an even greater citizen. And to quote the movie Step Brothers, definitely has the voice of an angel. Welcome back to This Week in Mortgage, everyone. Barbie edition. I'm Sam Battaglia, Mortgage Black in Beverly Hills. I hope you had a great week. All right, I am loving all the Barbie stuff, the eye candy that's online right now. The Barbie house in Malibu is so cool. Everyone's having fun with it, online, on the news, all over the place. Everyone's wearing their pink, yours truly included, obviously, here today. A little bit of history about Barbie. All right, Barbie was invented in 1959, March 9th for that matter, by Ruth Handler, an American businesswoman. And Barbie's character is actually based on a German doll named Bild Lilly that was used as the inspiration for Barbie. But oddly enough, Bild Lilly was not intended for children, unlike Barbie is here. Over the years, Barbie's had about 200 careers. Here's an interesting one. Barbie in 1959 was already 19 years old, so that makes Barbie 83 years old today. Not bad for an 83-year-old. Margot Robbie looks to be the star of this movie, amongst others, of course. But she is a great actress. Loved her work in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Love her demeanor. She's really good at what she does. And the reason I'm such a big fan is a Saturday Night Live skit, SNL, with Kenan Thompson. You have to look this up if you want a good laugh this weekend. Just type into to the internet and you'll end up on YouTube. SNL skit, Matt Schatt and Margot Robbie, and I'm going to quote Kenan Thompson in the skit. He's married to the Lord's mistress, and he's wearing Crocs with socks. Look it up. You'll probably get a good laugh. Moving on to the Oppenheimer movie, the second piece of Barbenheimer. Some have said it's the most significant movie of the century. It's bound to be an interesting story with some real history in there that's very, very significant, that shaped our world today, of course. And it looks like it's a very timely movie given the world we live in today. So that should also be a good one. And besides that, Matt Damon's in the movie. And I don't think I've ever seen a Matt Damon movie. There's a great cast, of course, but I'm just going to talk about him. I don't think I've ever seen a bad Matt Damon movie. And if it was a bad movie, it's not a bad movie anymore because Matt Damon's in it. Moving on to the Taylor Swift economy. Taylor Swift is an absolute powerhouse. I guess the biggest touring powerhouse in the history of the world. So much so that the Federal Reserve actually had to take notice of it this week. So it looks like the Taylor Swift economy to local markets where she visits and puts on shows and concerts, about $5 billion. That's a lot of money for a concert. I mean, these guys touring 50 years ago, boy, they wish they could come back and do a little touring today. That's a lot of money, a $5 billion Taylor Swift touring economy. That said, her tour itself is supposed to gross somewhere between $1 and $1.3 billion, which is clearly a record. And I'm going to put this in a little bit of perspective here. The value of the average NBA, National Basketball Association team, is a little bit less than $3 billion. The average value of the NBA teams. The average value of an NFL team is about $4.5 billion. I have one thing to say. Good for her, and it looks like we know who got the award between her and Kanye. Moving on to Tupac, one of the GOATs, absolutely. Looks like they reopened the case, or they're asking some people questions from 27 years ago. I mean, I'm a big fan. Him, Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, all the old guys, some of them still around for that matter, Ice Cube, Ice-T, you know, they're the man. But it looks like, you know, we've all watched a lot of different shows on what happened to Tupac. A lot of different theories. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. As a fan, and a student of history, I'm very interested to see what they come up with, especially after 27 years. And quick little note, AI has made it so Tupac and Biggie can sing on. There's some really incredible songs that they have put their voices on through AI. I suggest you give it a listen. And on a somber note, Tony Bennett, he passed this morning, or we found out this morning for that matter. He was born Anthony Dominic Benedetto on August 3rd, 1926. That is a long time ago. To give you some perspective, the housing market, which is essentially backed by Fannie Mae, isn't even as old as him. Yes, he's older than Fannie Mae. And of all his accomplishments, like I mentioned, the voice of an angel, it's obvious, unbelievable entertainer, and it looks like a very great person. He fought in World War II in the European theater. And I take this quote from him to end the show today. Anyone who thinks war is romantic obviously hasn't gone through one. So, on that note, Tony Bennett, God rest his soul. Okay, everybody, that is my show for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, any questions about anything up to Barbie, I guess, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you for your time. Have a wonderful weekend. Be safe.